For us, it's a daily thing.
It's every day, right?
This is Mammoth Daily
We're going to take you inside the locker room
with Mike Fulta.
We want this show to be about the fans, and we want this show to be driven by our Utah Mammoth community.
And Adrian Denny.
Fans can submit what they want to hear us talk about, what they want to hear Utah weigh in on. It's all going to be here.
Here's Mike and AD with you.
Utahns, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Right here on Mammoth Daily.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Daily on your Friday. Adrian Denny with you. Mike Fulta is coming up in just a few moments. Last night, a 4-1 win for Vegas, and it was a game for Utah. Really the first game all season that they didn't have a chance to win in the third period. And if you talk to head coach Andre Tourigny and Ian Cole and Clayton Keller after the game, I think it all kind of circled around emotion. We'll hear from all those guys coming up here on our Friday free-for-all edition. But you know what? Maybe it was a good thing. It wasn't a one-goal game going down the stretch with a chance to win, because what happened left this group extremely frustrated, extremely upset. You saw it on the ice, and it carried over to their play on the ice, which in last night's case was not good. You never want to have your emotions spill over and overtake what you're trying to do in a situation, which in Utah's case was the hockey game. But is it going to be a good thing in the long run? I think it really could be. Number one, the team got emotional. They got frustrated. They let it overtake them. Means they care. They had enough. You know, it's taken its toll this month of November of not winning, losing those 2 games in overtime. And then Kevin Stenlund gets hit and Brandon Tanev retaliates. And Utah just never quite had it. All of Vegas's goals were scored in momentum situations, the first 5 minutes of a period, last 5 minutes of a period. So as I look at the psychological aspect of this, Mike's going to look at X's and O's coming up in just a few minutes. But to me, it says, wow, that group, they really care about that. And did they react how we wanted them to react in the moment? No. But is it something we can take and build on? I think so. It's a different situation than we've been in all year, right? It kind of unraveled, and going up against a Vegas team that we thought we compared against, it turned into a measuring stick game that wasn't quite exactly what we expected. But the positive thing is you saw how much the guys care. Don't like seeing them frustrated and upset and off of their game, because they are, rattled and thinking about, something in the past that happened in the game versus, okay, what's the next step in this game? So if they don't have that happen to them, are we talking about another 1-goal game in the third period again? I think we probably are. As much as we saw Vegas control that game, they're so good defensively. They've got Jack Eichel, and that goal that he scored on the breakaway there in the second period was, not a chance Vejmelka had to stop that. So for the Mammoth, could be a positive turning point in this. You gotta come together as a group. There's going to be some honest conversations, but it's what you get. It's not all going to be perfect. We thought, I think we were closer than we were. Had that 7-game winning streak, been humbled a little bit in November, and humbled at home, coming home to start a 4-game homestand, which is definitely not how Utah wanted that to be. If you want to talk about, ebbs and flows and the National Hockey League, could look at 3 examples from last year. St. Louis was a team that struggled really going up to the Four Nations faceoff break. They were on February 1st and under 500, and didn't look like it was going to turn into much. And they all of a sudden they got hot. 12-game winning streak. Couldn't turn them away, like Utah on that 7-game winning streak earlier. And all the adversity they went through last season, they were able to turn into a Game 7 that went to overtime against Winnipeg, best record in the conference. That's how stuff can change when you make positives out of frustration. And it might have turned for him on the season here on February 2nd, I believe it was the Sunday game. They beat the Mammoth, beat the Utah Hockey Club, I should say, for the first time, and it kind of got him going. But they were here at practice at the Oval the day before, and it just wasn't great body language. And they hadn't had a great season, but they got one thing to go right, and they were frustrated, and it turned into a positive for them. Has it translated to this year? Not yet, but that's a top of mind example that I can think of a team, maybe getting their wake up call. On the other end, the Rangers and Vancouver, it persisted all year with them last year. I don't expect that to happen with this group. I think, as surprised as we were to see them just kind of get off of their game and get thrown off of their game like that, and see Vegas just kind of control the game, I think it showed how much they care and how sick they are of this month of November and coming close and not getting wins like they were in October when everything's go along to get along, and we're hearing what a tight-knit group they are. And now we hit this moment here on a Friday in November. Going to be a practice facility today at Southtown, and they'll go on the ice, but I think the bigger stuff that's going to happen today is going to be away from the ice, one-on-one conversations, team conversations, looking at video, realizing it wasn't good enough against Vegas. Did have some good chances, got pucks to the net, looking for tips, but Vegas was able to withstand most of those pucks and get them away from their goalie before he even had a chance, which is what Vegas has done since they joined the NHL. They've never had an elite goalie. They haven't needed one because they're so strong defensively. But as we'll hear from Mike in his morning after here, he'll go more on the X's and O's and maybe the wake up call of what we saw there. But as I was driving home after Hockey Night in Utah, processing it, racking my brain, going over every single thing that I saw and every single note that I took, I'm like, I was about 5 minutes from home. I'm like, that emotion shows they care. They've had it. They don't like it. It's not fun. We've been talking playoffs since the season ended and taking that next step, and they want to do it. That's why they got frustrated. Wasn't channeled the right way, but maybe seeing that and being involved in a game, like, oh, they kind of took it to us. We weren't there mentally where we want to be, where we normally are, but gosh, maybe we do need to take a step back and reevaluate. Let's get to Mike and his morning after. He'll get to the X's and O's right here.
Welcome into Mike's morning after. Just changed after the game. Took a little walk home, trying to clear the mind, make sure that I was of full function for this morning after. And I think I'll try and keep this one to the point. But I'm here in my kitchen, remembering happier times, my cousin's wedding, my sister's wedding, 7-game win streak for Utah. There were simpler times. They were better times. But we have to keep looking ahead for this Utah group, and we have to keep moving forward despite another loss. I mean, this group has lost now 4 in a row. I believe they've lost 9 of 11, and this is a down spell. There's no other way to say it. Like, there's no way to sugarcoat it. And yes, you can do good things with the game, but there are teams that know how to win. And I think when you look at tonight's game, that's what you saw. I think you saw a Vegas team that knows how to win and knows how to maximize their opportunity. It's a poised, composed team. And when they get up on you, they know how to bury you. They entering that night, we didn't touch on this on the radio, but they've given up the 4th fewest leads, or I think they maybe just the fewest leads in the NHL, but they don't give up a lot of leads, Vegas. And that came to fruition again tonight, where Utah never led in that game, and Vegas never let their foot off the gas. And I think, like, if aliens landed on Mount Olympus and they came down and they went to a game at Delta Center and they took the standing sheet, they took like the game notes, they looked at the game notes, they watched the game, the aliens would be like, oh, so the second best team in the Pacific, standings wise, maybe the best team in the Pacific, but the second best team in the Pacific, a team that's been to the playoffs almost every year since 2017. They've never had a losing record. That team beat an up and coming Utah team handedly. That's what we expected coming from alien planet. Like, we've descended on Utah, and what would have been the most likely outcome? It would have been Vegas winning in regulation, because Vegas is a more experienced team. They have higher end players. Utah doesn't have a Jack Eichel. They don't have a Mitch Marner. Utah's got, Logan Cooley's and Dylan Guenthers and Clayton Kellers and guys who are incredible players. But Eichel and Marner are some of the best in the world, and are going to be going head to head for sure, U.S. and Canada come the Olympics. And Utah doesn't have that. Vegas has a really established back end with huge mobile defensemen. Utah has a good and deep back end, but it's not built the same way Vegas is. I think those aliens would not have been shocked with the result from tonight. I don't think we should be shocked from the result from tonight. I think Vegas wins that game more often than they don't, because they're that good and they're in their championship window. They're a cup contender, and Utah is trying to be a playoff contender. They are a playoff contender, but they got to get there, right? They're a few steps behind Vegas in the development curve, and that's what we saw tonight. So let's not add that onto the pile of recent performances by Utah and say, oh, here we go again. No, if you played that game in a vacuum where both teams were 0-0-0, I think the aliens would be right. I think the aliens would expect Vegas to win that game, and they did. So Utah now gets to look ahead. You have 3 more games at home, and I think if you get one win, right, like once you get that one win, once you get the monkey off the back, I think it totally changes things for this team moving forward. And I think it opens things up. And we see that with guys, right? Like JJ Peterka goes on a little bit of a drought, gets one, boom. Then he gets 4 goals in 4 games. We've seen that with other guys, other individuals, but I think that's for me, that's what it feels like with this team. Once we just get that bounce and get the monkey off the back, get that win, then we can start skating downhill. So I look forward to seeing everybody back at the Delta Center on Saturday against the New York Rangers. Hockey Fights Cancer. It's going to be really powerful. We're going to tell some stories involving cancer. It's touched all of our lives, but that's going to be a focal piece of the night. But Utah also has a great chance to get back on track against a Rangers team that has been good anywhere but Madison Square Garden. So we'll see everybody downtown coming up on Saturday night.
So what Bear think of the game? Let's hear from him. He gave a really thoughtful answer, as he always does, and nobody's better than Bear. And I don't think right now we're appreciating him for as much as he does and his staff does, and how well he takes care of people and cares about his players, and protects his players and loves his players, and has ideas for his players for, lose a game. It's done at midnight, but we're back in the moment, 1% better every day. Let's hear from Bear after that game on Thursday night.
That game has to be a teacher for us. Adversity can be the best teacher if you take it the right way. If we just move on from that game and we don't learn anything, well, that's a good recipe to lose. I think in hockey, I always say you either win or you learn. If you just lose instead of learning, that doesn't work. That you stay still. So we need to learn from what happened. If we cannot control our adversity, is frustration. It's part of the game. We cannot lose our focus like that because a call or a goal or a hit or whatever. We cannot lose our temper and start to run around. Vegas is a good team. As soon as we start to run around, they made us pay for it, which is we need to learn from that. Having that said, there's other things we need to do better in our 5-on-5 games. We need to play way faster. We need to move the puck faster. We need to be more predictable for each other. And it comes from a good place from the player. They want to do more. They want to do great and stuff like that. But often less is more. We need to make sure we play with a lot of pace, play fast. That means moving the puck into space and skating, sport and those kind of things. But that we'll address that. But the emotion thing, it's a big deal.
It was a big deal. And it's got to be a one-time thing, right? That they realize, okay, things aren't always going to go perfect. It's not always going to be a 1-goal game, and we can't let that affect us. And it's still a young group, guys in their 20s, a lot of them facing expectations for the first time, being on a team that expects to be in the playoffs for a first time. And now you're facing the adversity, and what do you do? And you got to be who you were when you were winning, and you can't try and do too much because you talk about being predictable. And when you try and overcompensate to do something fancy, dipsy do, follow la la la, like it doesn't work, and it throws off the rest of your team because they have no idea what you're doing. So simplicity is a big thing. Predictability, just being consistent, knowing what you are, where you are, who you are. That's going to be a big thing, starting from scratch in a number of ways today. As it's a wake-up call. Nobody liked it. Nobody wants to lose like that, especially at home. And it was a 4-1 game. I mean, but so many key momentum situations because Utah didn't respond well is how the game got away. 2 goals in 19 seconds in the first 5 minutes of a period. Last 5 minutes of the second period, again, coming off of an offensive zone penalty that was going to be called, and then first minute of the third period. Like that, again, you talk about close. Like you could have been in a 1-goal game if you had just kept your head on straight. Do you win it? Probably not. You heard Mike in his morning after, but that's how close this is to being successful. Let's hear from Captain Clayton Keller on him as a captain and what direction he's going to take this from here.
You know that there's going to be adversity. It's a long season. It's hard. It's the best league in the world, and I think our group has continued to stay motivated and confident. Still going through tough stretches, and we. And there's something that we want to attack and get better at, and we address it. We usually do, and respond right away. So tomorrow we'll have a good practice. We'll break down the game tonight, talk about it, figure out how we can be better, and that's the good thing about sometimes losing is that's when you learn the most about your team and yourself, and it makes it even that much better when things do go your way and you kind of get out of it.
That's a great point by Clayton there, in a number of ways, and you just you move forward. You can't do anything about everything that's happened here. With Thursday night in November, it's over. You just gotta build on it and move forward. And a number of, I think, surprises to everybody on Thursday night, and they took it hard. You saw how hard that they took it. Ian Cole is a guy who's played 929 games in the NHL in the regular season and 129 playoff games, and he's won 2 Stanley Cups. And he's a guy that played college hockey at Notre Dame. He's smart, intelligent man and hockey player, and he's incredibly honest, and he'll answer any question and he'll talk about anything. But you don't ask Ian Cole a question you don't want the answer to. Let's listen to what he said after the contest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a holistic picture at this point. Sure, there are always little details here and there, but it's like the boat's taking on water, and we play one hole, another hole open. So, we need to really look at our game as a whole and our attitude and how we approach it, and whether winning matters to us. Yeah, I mean, listen, we talk after every game. We talk as a team. We talk, and we do a lot of talking. But we need to put stuff into practice. We need to take action on some of these things. And it's really disappointing to see some of the reactions that we have to adversity. And listen, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be instances where the team scores or we score and they score. Okay, fine. But we need to be able to get back to our game right away. And we tend to deviate a little too often.
Yeah, it was pretty out of character. And that's why I'm thinking, okay, they care. This could be good. Let's make it good. The power play. Haven't got a lot of power play chances. And power play had a pretty good 30, 45 seconds to start things off on their first full 2-minute power play on Thursday night. Didn't score. Puck rolled off a stick. But Clayton Keller, I thought, had an interesting thing to say about the power play, which is going to be very important as we get on the stretch here.
We were a top 10 power play last year, and, we have the talent in the room and the coaching as well. Faz does a great job as well, running us through video and things like that. So it's definitely on us to, turn the page. Who cares what happened the first 20? It's about the next game, and that's where our focus has got to be at.
There we go. Moving on to the next game. Got the New York Rangers in town. Saturday night, hockey fights cancer. They've lost 3 in a row. They lost 6-3 in Colorado to the Avs. On Thursday night, they lost to Vegas 3-2. On Tuesday night, difference in the game, 2 power play goals for Vegas. So Rangers have been playing good. Now they've lost 3 in a row. That's what we have coming up at Delta Center. How about the Vegas Golden Knights? 3-game road trip with 2 games in Utah. They'll be in Anaheim on Saturday night. Ducks lost just their second home game of the year on Thursday to Ottawa. So both Utah and Anaheim lose their second games of the season. And then they'll be back here after playing the Ducks, Vegas, and Utah again on Monday night. So quick turnaround. I think Utah would love that. Kind of like a playoff series where you lose the first game 4-1 as it was tonight, and you get a chance in game 2 to even it up. I think that'll be the mentality for Utah, and I think they'll be excited to get back at it on Monday night. Friday, Free For All is coming up. We talked to a lot of you on Thursday night, and we had some fun. So we've got a little medley we put together for our Friday Free For All coming up next right here on Mammoth Daily.
Get ready. Your Friday free-for-all is here.
Well, we invited everybody to stop by again, as we do on Mammoth Daily. Come say hi to me and Mike, regardless of day of the week, whatever. We're always there. Section 6-7, and we'd love to catch up, put you on camera, get an interview. You interview us. On Thursday night, though, we had 3 questions, and they were the lock of the night: who's going to score the first power play goal? So nobody got it. Okay, so we'll make it who's going to score an X power play goal. So all these questions about the power play, who's going to score that power play goal, it's for the next one, not necessarily last night because it only had 1 chance. So they're answering who's going to score the next power play goal. Then we said, what Mammoth skater was an original misfit, part of that expansion team in Vegas in 17-18 that went to the Stanley Cup final. This guy played against his former team that he was with the year before in the Stanley Cup final, and MVP of the homestand. Again, we had a great group of folks stopping by. Jerry, Justin, Woody, Jet, Greg, Stephanie, Cody, Carl, Nathan. If I missed anybody, blame it on Mike. No. If I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. I just missed it. So I hope I didn't miss anybody. And if I did, come by Section 6-7 Saturday night and let me know, or just weigh in the comments here on Mammoth Daily. But let's get to our Friday free-for-all. And here's what we got. Here's what we shot Thursday night.
Jerry, I'm from Sandy. Mammoth Almanac on the tweets.
Kerry Rajman. My name is Nate. I'm from West Jordan.
Lock of the night is going to be Paterka on the power play.
Okay.
He's warming up.
First power play tonight, he's First power play goal, I got to go with Dylan Gunther.
The original misfit was Schmidt.
Nate Schmidt. And he was also a Capital and of course, came from Florida. Winnipeg. Got it. I don't, but I'm just going to guess. I'm going to say Nate Schmidt.
The homestand MVP, Veggie's going to bounce back big. So, yeah, book it.
I'm going to beg that it's going to go back to Gunther. Gunther's going to stay. I am going to go with Dylan Gunther again. I believe fully in his capabilities. His one-timer is one of the best in the league, and I think that's what's going to get us back on track.
Gunther's been shooting the puck. He's got his highest shot output over a 6-game stretch in the last 6 games. Had 4 more shots on Thursday night. So thanks to everybody for stopping by again. Come see us in Section 6-7. Before the game is great. I'm doing hockey night in Utah. Mike is usually in the area, and we can usually sneak away, say hi, but would love to see you again. Before the game is the best time to catch us. But come on over, even if you don't want to go on video or do an interview or anything, just come say hi to us. Thanks, by the way, to Cody, who brought the Divinity on Thursday night. The Divinity was very, very yummy. So appreciate that. Got Mike, even of all people, into the holiday spirit on Thursday night. So thanks to Cody for the Divinity was just divine. I loved it. And now Mike needs to make him some cookies. So yeah, come by and see us. We love it. It's a highlight of our nights, seeing the folks who have joined us for the first year of Mammoth Daily and this project that we've all worked on, and it's turned out well. We're all really happy, and we're just happy that everybody likes Mammoth Daily. That's our biggest thing, because that's what we wanted to do. A daily podcast from the team talking Mammoth every day to you, win or lose, and just have 30 minutes a day plus ish together right here on Mammoth Daily. You know what's next, folks? Our local hockey roundup. We're going to check in on Tij Iginla and look back at our high school game of the week last week. Didn't go how we thought. We've got another high school game of the week and more fun coming up as we roll on in this Friday free-for-all edition. Again, thanks to everybody for stopping by, and we'll catch you coming up Saturday for Hockey Fights Cancer from Delta Center. But your third period is next and our local hockey roundup.
This is Mammoth Daily.
Time for your third period here on our Friday free-for-all episode of Mammoth Daily. About to send you on your way to enjoy the weekend. Remember that Utah is in action tomorrow night for our Hockey Fights Cancer game against the New York Rangers. The Mammoth will be wearing specialty jerseys that you can bid on. And they also have some military appreciation jerseys that are also still being bid on online. So check those out. But AD, it's time for our local hockey roundup. Let's talk some Utah puck here.
Let's start with our Utah Mammoth prospects, Mike. It is so great to see Tij Iginla healthy again. And is he ever? 18 points in 9 games for the Kelowna Rockets, 11 goals, 7 assists, 6 straight multiple point games to open November. He scored a goal in all 6. He's tied for the team lead in scoring despite playing in just 9 of 18 games. But Mike, you want to talk about top priorities for this 25-26 season, and that is seeing to it that Tij Iginla was healthy as we watch his highlights on YouTube, and great stuff there from Tij and the Rockets.
Yeah, banged up a little bit in training camp, but looks like he hasn't missed a beat, AD. I mean, he was on pace for like 1 million goals last year, and it's good to see him. Good to see him continuing to dominate. And watching him dominate makes me wish that we are allowed to send teenagers to the AHL. There are some guys I think that would just benefit from playing at a higher level. And now it's different with the NCAA. You can go to college and things. That's all great. But Tej is putting up 2 points a game against 16-year-olds out there. And with all due respect to WHL, great league. But Tej is that good where I can't wait till I can see him playing against grown men.
6th overall pick in 2024, and again battling the injuries, the double hip operations during the summer, but seeing him on the ice after he didn't play in every game early, Mike. He missed some time, but he's back and rolling in November. How about the Tucson Roadrunners? Look at this goal for those of you on YouTube. Owen Allard, a 5th-round pick in 2024. Guy fans on it at the blue line, and there goes Owen. Breakaway, goal. First multiple-point game. Roadrunners beat the Colorado Eagles 3-0. Another big story from that weekend on the ranch in northern Colorado against the AHL affiliate of the Avs, Mike. Not only was Colorado the best team in the Pacific Division with only 2 regulation losses before Tucson won that game on Saturday, Jackson Stauber got his first win of the year, got a shutout, but Utah had the opportunity to send Kevin Rooney down to the AHL, and you saw that move. You saw he was recalled after the weekend, and to me what that said was Mammoth played 1 game. It was Friday night. They had their lineup set. Roadrunners had a big series in Colorado. Rooney hadn't played. You can send him there, get him 2 games, help them get a win or 2 on the road, and bring him right back. So we haven't seen Kevin Rooney. He's been here, but a guy that can also help in Tucson when available.
But you get to keep him fresh. You get to kind of get his legs going a little bit down in Tucson, where he's been really good to start the year. And he also got to participate because he did come up in time for the road trip. He did get to participate in the mom's trip. I believe it was his mother-in-law who was from Southern California or lived in Southern California, and she got to be on the trip with Kevin. So, good job by Utah, kind of throwing him down, bringing him up at the right times to be able to maximize special experiences for him, but also to try and keep him fresh and ready to go should we have an injury and he need to be inserted into the lineup.
How about a high school game of the week, Mike? Want to recap our high school game of the week?
Yes.
We really sold this, Mike. We really sold Park City and Sky Canyon. Park City averaging 7 goals a game. Sky Canyon averaging 6.6 goals a game. Park City with just 1 loss on the season. A good game on September 22nd. They beat Sky Canyon 5-3. Well, our game of the week ended with an 11-0 Park City victory and a hat trick. Preston Verbos with the hat trick on his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th goals of the year. Don't forget the goaltending, Mike. Alex Hari had a 10-save shutout for Park City in the 11-0 win. Yes.
Well, congrats to Preston and Alex, the goaltender. Great work, Park City. I was hoping for a more competitive game, but make them feel you. Get to 15 next time. That's a challenge, Park City. Get to 15 next time. Show us how good you really are, because there's all those schools in Massachusetts and Michigan and Minnesota that are looking at Utah like, those guys can't play. Well, Park City, right now, you are the standard bearer, so keep pouring them in. Everybody else, let's get her going here.
Great job, Miners. All right, this week's high school game of the week, Monday night at the Peaks Ice Arena in Provo. It's the first meeting of the year between Viewmont at 7-3 and Westlake at 1-9 from Provo on Monday night.
Great opportunity for our friends at Westlake to get this ship going in the right direction here. Big matchup. What day did you say it is?
That's Monday night.
Monday night, under the lights at Peak. Westlake, we are watching you.
Just keep it within 11, or else this segment might need a new producer. Okay? That's all we ask. Doing my best.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. I have faith in Westlake. I think they're gonna start to trend upward here. Their expected goal numbers are really good. They haven't been getting the bounces, low shooting percentage. They need a few more saves and then they'll be fine.
Wrapping it up, Mike. Utah Grizzlies at Tulsa this weekend. So go Grizz go. Taking on the Oilers. That's what we got from the ECHL. Roadrunners on the home and home weekend series host the Colorado Eagles. Again, so they split with Colorado. Best team in the Pacific, only 3 regulation losses. They'll do it again this weekend at the TCC in Tucson.
They don't call it Budweiser Center in Loveland anymore, do they?
No, it's the Blue Credit Union Arena.
One of the coolest things is, and now that I say that, I'm going to forget it, but I think it's at the last minute of the first period, or is it the first minute of the third period? You tell me. You've done it way more than I have.
It's the first minute of the third period, Mike, and it is the minute of madness. And the winner gets I can't say what the sponsorship activation is now, but in the good old days, Mike, it was free Qdoba, and the fans in NoCo love their Qdoba. So it was raucous.
Was it a like the loudest section, right? The loudest section gets Qdoba.
If the Eagles scored in the first minute of the third period, everybody got free Qdoba.
Okay. So people are just losing their minds for the first minute of the third, and you can call it a kitschy marketing scheme. That place was buzzing for the rest of the third, especially if the Eagles scored, and they have oftentimes behind that crowd. That is a fun building. It's a fun building to watch a game in, not a fun building to call a game in because you're in the corner. And the one time I was there, Adrian, it was like, I think it was Hockey Fights Cancer, great cause, but they had pink jerseys with blue numbers. And I was just making up people who had the puck. I had no clue who was who out there for Colorado, but that's a story for a different time. This has been an awesome third period. Great local roundup, AD. What, you got something?
Yeah, 2 quick ones on Colorado after we already went out on the hard out. But the Grizzlies on that far goal, 300 feet away from the broadcast booth all the way down ice, won a game at the buzzer in regulation on a shot from the point with a bunch of traffic in front back in the day. And I don't know how I saw it, Mike, but I saw it, and it was a good call, which was different because I could never see a thing down there. I just looked for the red light. If the red light went on, score! But I got that buzzer beater. And when we scored in the minute of madness, again, back in the day, that was the talk of the locker room after the game, how we just ruined their minute of madness. So
there's got to be nothing better than just a spear in the heart of the Eagles fans during the minute of madness. Yeah, that's funny you say that, the obstructed view goal call, AD. I once had to do an ECHL game remotely, and the South Carolina Stingrays couldn't use their arena for playoffs. They had to play a playoff game in their practice rink, and there was I'm just calling the game off of like a live barn feed. Essentially, it's a camcorder on a tripod, like you see at a JV soccer game that's following the action, and there's a load bearing beam. I kid you not, Adrian. I kid you not. It covered the entirety of one of the nets. You think the single goal view seats at Delta Center are tough? Try to call a game when you literally cannot see a single piece of one of the net. And I was doing the same thing as you, looking for that red light to go off.
Oh, baby. Those were the days.
Those are the days. This is the weekend. We have finally concluded our third period here on our Friday free-for-all show. We'll see everybody Saturday with the Rangers in town for Hockey Fights Cancer. It's going to be a powerful night. So come up to Section 7, say hi to us, and we'd love to cheer on the Mammoth with you. But we'll see you both at Delta Center and on Hockey Night in Utah on the radio. So join us there. And as always, thanks for listening to Mammoth Daily.